A very good morning to all my dear students. Children, today in our chapter 13, let us move ahead and learn some new things from the chapter. You can see that in all our previous videos we have learned so many things about sound, like it requires a medium for its propagation, and it can travel through solids, liquids and gases, but not in vacuum. And we have learned about different kinds of waves. And today let us learn about a new concept, that is how is sound produced by humans. You can see that half of the question is already answered. How is sound produced? We know that sound is produced by vibrations of a body. If an object vibrates, then it produces sound. So I told you to touch your throat while speaking, and you'll feel that something is vibrating in your throat, and because of which the sound comes out, right? That is nothing but called voice box, children. So how is sound produced? There also obviously something should be there that will be vibrating in order to produce sound. So here, that particular organ in human body, it is called as larynx, or simply voice box, children. So let's learn about voice box now. As you can see here, voice box is nothing, it is present on the upper end of the windpipe, children. What is the other name of windpipe? Do you have any idea? Yes, it is called as a trachea. Trachea, do you remember? So the trachea, at the upper end of the trachea, you have this voice box. Okay. Now this voice box also, it will be like it will have two stretched things inside it, which is called as vocal cords. Can you see in that? Vocal cords is the two stretched membranes which are present inside this voice box. And because it is present at the upper end of the trachea, whenever the lungs just push air outside, when they force air to come outside, that time what happens? These vocal cords, what we say, they vibrate, children. When they vibrate, you would have noticed that whenever we speak, we exhale air, we expel out air. So when the air is coming out, it is producing the sound. That means something. This air, that force of air that is coming out, it is making the vocal cords to vibrate. Actually, the muscles which are attached to the vocal cords, they help in giving a character, or nothing but the quality of the sound that is produced, children. So now you know that when the force is expelled out from the lungs through the trachea, because it is at the upper part of the trachea, windpipe, then because of that force of air, these cords will be vibrating. And in the quality of the sound depends upon, it is under the control of the muscles that hold these two slits, or nothing but these two cords will be placed in such a way that they form a small slit in the middle, so through which the air comes out. So one thing that you have to remember here is that the quality of the sound. How are we able to make different sounds, and why is how is the quality of the sound changing, children? Like females have high pitched sound, whereas the males have deep sound or gruff sound. So how is that happening? So it mainly depends on the type of sound waves that come out of this voice box, right? So if the sound produced has higher amplitude, and if the frequency is more, then the sound will be, and then the voice will be high pitched voice as that of a female. But if the sound that comes out of the voice box, if it is having low frequency, then it is nothing but deep, nothing but the gruff. Okay, so low pitch voice will be there, as in case of men. So you can understand now the quality of the sound. How is this frequency as well as the amplitude or the loudness adjusted? The pitch and the loudness, how is it different from person to person? You can understand that the voice of no two persons is same. So you can identify people with the help of with their voices, by their voices, right? So each person has got his own unique voice also. So you can understand now that more or less any two people can be very close to each other in the quality of the sound that they produce. Not exactly, but they may come somewhere nearer. So how is this possible? What is actually making this difference? What is the cause? What is the reason behind such a difference in different people's voices? It is nothing but, as I told you, depending upon the quality of the sound that is produced, that is entirely under the control of the muscles that are attached to this two vocal cords, children. See, these muscles, they can either stretch the vocal cords or they can just, make them loose so you just see one rubber band. When I stretch the rubber band, what happens? The rubber band becomes tight as well as it becomes thinner, right? When the rubber band is stretched, it becomes tighter and thinner. Now you just strike it. You can understand that it produces a different kind of voice. Now just loosen it. When you loosen it, when you just let it loose, then what happens? They become little thicker and not so tight, right? So same, in the similar manner, the muscles, either that is under the control of the muscles. Actually, we can actually control. So these muscles, when you are stretching, okay, so when the muscles are stretched, when the muscles stretch the vocal cords, you will see that the vocal cords stretch as well as they become thinner and tighter. So when they are tighter, they produce one kind of sound. And when the muscles let these vocal cords little loose, then they become little thicker and they become loose, and the type of sound that comes out of them will be different. Did you understand the difference now? When they are tight, they produce one kind of sound, and when they are loose, they produce another kind of sound. So this is all under the control of the muscles that are attached to the vocal cords, children. Got it? So that is how voice is produced by humans, children. Okay? That is about larynx today. I am sending you. Okay? That's for today. Tomorrow I am going to teach you how these different sounds are heard by a human being. So we'll be learning about how our ear works, okay, in my next class. Thank you, children.